Unemployment causes a significant negative impact on individuals and communities. It includes economic hardship, social exclusion, and diminished access to education, healthcare, and other basic necessities. The right to work is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and is recognized as a basic human need. Moreover, unemployment perpetuates intergenerational poverty. Well, to help us unpack this further, we speak to Francinah Chauke, branch manager at Boston City campus, who joins us now via video link. Francinah, appreciate your time this afternoon. Now, what are some of the key reasons behind the high levels of unemployment in South Africa, and how have these trends evolved over time?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. It has actually impacted our human rights because of, when you are not employed, it's not easy for you to provide as well for the family as well. And we find that a lot of our let's say individuals, they can't provide. There is no fair education where they want to deliver the excellent education to their children. They can't do that. And also there is a lot of people, they just sitting at home. And this also has impacted into having a high rate of poverty as well. So to just say that our human rights we are in a fair scale, I don't think so at all. Because of part of human rights is to make sure that each individual is given the opportunity for employment, and also they've got the fair chance as well without discriminating. So they've got a fair chance of getting employment. So at the rate that we are in now, it's sad to even say that our economy is not even doing well because of that.
Now, Francinah, when we take a look at the numbers of demonstrations that we get in South Africa, where there is a demonstration because of poor service delivery, it is because people understand that that is a right that they're entitled to. But if you juxtapose that around the sort of reaction or the absence of any collective demonstration around unemployment, does it suggest that individuals that are unemployed, the youth in particular, who make up a significant chunk of the unemployed, are not aware that this is one of their human rights?
Yes, they are not aware, but the way they actually the way they're expressing themselves, it becomes in a manner where a lot of people, or else the government, they can't actually acknowledge it. Because of, if you're unemployed, you'll do whatever measures that takes for you to be heard, and you find that your message is not delivered in a correct manner. So them as not knowing their rights, it's sad. And also looking at it that way, that as much as it's their right to be employed, but what are they doing to empower themselves as well? Because of, as much as the government has to give us the employment, or they have to give us the jobs, but there is something that we as individuals we should do, unlike saying that, no, it's my right to get a job. But what are you doing? What are you giving to the economy or to the country as a whole?
Well, let's talk a little bit about technology and digital platforms and how those can be leveraged to create more employment opportunities.
Okay. The COVID has opened a lot of opportunity for us, whereby we don't need actually to go to the offices. So you can actually Google online and just see if there are any jobs that are available. And interesting enough is that I've seen on the website, I was just going through the website, and I saw that there are a lot of international jobs that are available. Even though you're a South African, you don't need to have an IA passport to actually get the employment there. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I feel that since the COVID, even though we can say that it has affected us, but we need to be more aware and conduct more research on other opportunities that we can actually use to be employed. As you say that digital has actually affected us as well. So nowadays you can actually have an interview on Zoom, and also you can conduct reports on Zoom as well. So there's no need for you to actually go to the job physically. So you can do everything online.
Now, in your view, how can the private sector contribute to the creation of jobs for young people, in particular in South Africa?
Bear in mind that South Africa is a mixed economy, so meaning that the government and the private sector must play a role. Private sector, they need to work with the educational sectors or educational institution as well. For example, when it comes to internship, and they can create jobs, more jobs in that way. And also they need to build more strong or to have a strong partnership with the government as well to see where exactly in our economy or which fields that they can actually create so that they can actually have they can create more jobs for people in South Africa. So it's very important for them to work together, and as well for the private sectors to make sure that they work with the government. They mustn't work alone, and also they must also have partnership with the international companies as well.
Now, you mentioned something pretty important, Francinah. You talked about the job market overseas, where potentially individuals that are unemployed in South Africa or those that are looking to supplement their income can find employment overseas. Now, this also suggests that there are things that unemployed people don't know about seeking employment. What are some of the other factors that young people or people that are seeking employment might not know?
For example, when it comes to the graduates, I believe that a lot of educational sectors or institutions, they do have departments where they assist graduates to get employment. So you find that the students or the graduates themselves, they don't actually put the effort to research. And for example, at Boston City campus, we've got we've got a graduate support service where we help students to seek employment and to write CVs, and also to see whenever there is any advert, how must they actually conduct, or else how must they answer to that advert, because you might apply for a job that you don't qualify for. So I believe that a lot of people, nowadays we've got a lot of, we can actually access to the internet where you can Google and find out exactly what's happening. So I believe that we need to use all the resources that we've got, especially the digital ones, because it's never like before where there is a person who will just tell you this is where you must go and also forth. So everything is digital. So they must make sure that they Google at all times to keep themselves up to date. And that way it will be easier for them and it will guide them as well.
Now, coming back to that issue of jobs or employment that's available overseas, what sort of areas or industries are particularly available at the moment that are being looked for, and where is that information available for the millions that are watching right now and are thinking to themselves, you know, Francinah's got a point, I could look for a job overseas, work while I'm stationed in South Africa?
They need to go to, there's a website that's it's written online, working overseas or working in America while living in South Africa. And the jobs that the positions that are always available, it's accounting, there's also marketing, there's also advertising. So it's most the office office positions that are available. Let me just say the admin side that is always available, because those ones you just have to report to your manager, and they'll give you all the tasks that you're supposed to do. And then after completing your report or your research, you need to give back to your manager.
Now, my final question is around entrepreneurship. You know, we encourage entrepreneurship because it's almost an easy way out in many instances. But what happens what is your advice, rather, when young people have a great idea, but they don't necessarily have the skill to package and sell that idea? What do you do in your mind or in your experience? What is the advice that you would give to such young people?
With the youth, they need to make sure that they go to the library as well. It's very helpful because it's got all the information that is needed, and also the sponsors as well. And also they must also Google in most cases, because when it comes to entrepreneurship, you find that, as you say, that they don't have the skills. So the skills is one of the keys that is needed, because there's no one who's going to say that I'm just going to sponsor you without the skills. And also they need to make sure that if they've got a certain skill, they must make sure that they upgrade it at all times. For argument's sake, if you've got skills in communication, you must make sure that whatever that you're going to open, or must I say that if you're going to open a small business, you actually use or enhance what you've got as your skill. So that way it will bring you, and also it will be more easier for sponsors to say, yeah, we do trust you because of you're using whatever you've got. You've got that strength that you are using. And as well, they must make sure that they go through the website, the government website. The government website has got a lot of sponsors as well, where they offer support to the upcoming youth of South Africa.
Francinah Chauke, appreciate your time this afternoon.